So if we get any kind of rain, especially heavy rain, we're coming in the next morning and I'm meeting with our lead custodian to say, have you checked all of our normal spots to make sure there's not standing water on the floors, to make sure there's not standing water on, student materials, where our cubbies are, in classrooms, in hallways, in the cafeteria.
The roof is 23 years old. It's beyond its life expectancy. Our roof vendor is fantastic. Every time we have a roof leak, we bring them in. They do the best they can to try to trace where it is to try to fix the problem. At this point, they've told us the roof is beyond their ability to be able to repair it.
2 years ago, we had a situation where we had to relocate an entire hallway.
The air handler unit on the roof had a malfunction in the command module, and the command module is what tells the unit how to run, how much air to bring in, when to open, when to close.
The cold air continued to pull all night and froze the pipes, and those frozen pipes, as they got worse and worse, burst, and our 5th grade wing had hot water, because the hot water was still pumping, coming down through the ceilings. Me and my assistant were on ladders, moving tiles and shutting valves off to stop the hot water from spraying. As soon as one was shut off, the next room started leaking. And so we were evacuating, I think, 6 classrooms that day.
Obviously, we had the cost of replacing ceiling tiles. We lucked out in the fact that a lot of the coils could be brazed instead of having to be replaced, but it was thousands and thousands of dollars, probably the $5,000 to $6,000 range for just that one isolated incident. So it was a major impact on the day, monetarily and learning.
One of the things I've learned as superintendent over the years is you have to maintain your buildings and your facilities.
We've had failures in air handler units, we've had failures in boilers, we've had failures in circulator pumps.
And there was a time last year, one of those 2 days that we didn't have school, we were working off of one boiler. We have 2, but one went down and we were operating off of one.
And when the one went down last year, it was a 2-week wait time because they're rebuilding them. They don't have them to deliver and install.
So the boilers at Memorial School were installed in the early 2000s. And like most boilers of that era, they're cast iron sectional boilers. So the peak efficiency of that boiler system is 80%. The newer modern condensing boilers can get up to 96% thermal efficiency. And because of that, the EPA has said we really don't want new construction in schools to put 80% efficient boilers when 96% is available and not significantly more expensive. So for those reasons, manufacturers have started to phase out their production of cast iron sectional boilers. That means that it's much more difficult to get parts.
You're gambling that other boiler doesn't break, because then you're really up against it, because then you don't have any heat a week or 2 without heat and not having school. That would be a nightmare scenario.
Systems have a certain lifespan in a building, roofing, mechanical systems, and as they degrade, especially the roofing systems and stuff like that, you're more likely to have leaks, water leaks. You're more likely to have the possible mold buildup. As the systems degrade or age, it affects everything inside the building. And so if we were to just kind of put a Band-Aid on what we have, you're gonna have the problem again. So, it's one of those things, you can pay me now, or you can pay me a lot more later. Never have I seen in my life building material prices go down. And so an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
The problem with not addressing this now is it's not going to go away. These are major components needed to make a facility safe.
We're going to redo the roofs, insulate it properly, install new mechanical systems, and bring the areas that are not code compliant with the codes, and make the building so it'll last for the kids for another 30, 40 years. One of the things that I'll do when this comes up is that I will vote for it. I don't get any more funds or fees for this. My work's done no matter what. As a homeowner in Hooksett, I would say that it's a worthwhile endeavor.
I've worked here for 17 years, and in those 17 years, I've got to see age group after age group come through the school system. And the one thing that hasn't changed is the community and the parents' commitment to prioritizing a high educational experience. And I'd like to see us get to a point where we can kind of put the conversation of Memorial needing so much attention behind us and focus on what we come here to do. It's time for that.